Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Your Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, Justice Maraga, the speakers of the two houses, former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, former Vice President Musalia Mudavadi. I don't know why we keep forgetting that once upon a time, Musalia was our Vice President. It may have been for a short time, but I also suffered the same fate. I was Minister for Home Affairs for 2 months. The way Cabinet Secretaries present, ambassadors and high commissioners, leaders of majority in the two houses, our governors who are present here, members of county assemblies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I said good morning.
Good morning.
God is good
All the time.
and all the time. I'm going to make it brief. First, I want to congratulate the parliamentary choir. I think, to be fair to them, today's attempt was way superior compared to what it was last year. It would have been better, though, if Kajiado County had not come to perform. But I think it will help if we encourage them that it was quite a step from where they were. So Tongi and your team, please keep at it. I think you're making progress. I also want to thank our speaker today, Dr. Michael Hastings, for speaking to our hearts and our minds. And in a very special way that God has used him to speak to the leadership of Kenya and the people of our nation. Thank you very much. And because you have been good to us, your request for a prime minister we have a retired one in Kenya, and we can and since the Constitution has abolished the position of Prime Minister in Kenya, so he may not have it anytime soon, so we will send you his CV. Maybe you can consider. In any case, we have had people from the UK helping us govern our country. So it may just be a good opportunity for us to pay back and send you something. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Mr. President, we are gathered here at a good moment, and the prayer breakfast is a very special moment to us as the people of Kenya, because this is an occasion that we speak to ourselves candidly in a very straightforward manner, without considering who is in which party, who is in government, who is in the opposition, who comes from what community. So this is a very special moment for us as Kenya. And I agree with Sam Bokisho that other countries may want to consider prayer breakfasts like this that bring people together. And we are, of course, gathered here for good purpose, because the subject today is a new dawn for our country. And what we should do, all of us, responding to the call of our president, that we must rid ourselves, our government, our institutions, and our nation of theft and wastage and corruption. It is a good moment, and it's a good subject for us to engage in. And theft and corruption is bad in any language. I will tell you from my mother tongue. It is said, Ngom jorindet, kotabne kinindet. It means the following, that a thief may be intelligent, but not more than the investigator. And I think it is an encouragement to our investigative authorities that it is long held that the job that you do is possible. And as we've said as a nation, you have our support as you help us deal with the challenge that we have. In any case, Exodus 20:15, the Ten Commandments, says, do not steal. It's as straight as that. Do not steal. Therefore, we are perfectly, not just as a nation, but it is also a spiritual fight. And as we do that, we must remember Exodus 20:16, the following verse, which says, do not bear false testimony. The president and I were once victims of schemes and machinations and false testimony. It took the hand of God and prayer for us to get out. And we do not want any Kenyan to suffer such again. And as we pursue this very noble cause for the soul of our nation, we must remember to inspire the hawker to own a kiosk, and the gentleman who owns a kiosk to own a shop, and the one who owns a shop to own a mini market, and the one who owns a mini market to own a supermarket and a wholesale. We must remember to inspire the person who walks to buy a bicycle, and the one who rides a bicycle to buy a boda, and the boda guy to buy a tuk-tuk, and the tuk-tuk gentleman to buy a second-hand vehicle, and the one of the second-hand vehicle to buy a new car. That we must. Because as we've been told by the Speaker, this nation does not belong to the elite alone. It belongs to 45 million Kenyans. And finally, I have a confession to make. Finally. I have had occasion to discuss, for example, in 1978, when our founding father passed on, I remember very well, because we were on school holiday, and I was looking after my father's cows. And when around 3 o'clock we were told President Kenyatta had passed on, I remember we hurriedly took the cows home. We ran, literally, because in my mind, I thought it was the end of the world. And then in 1980, when I was preparing to do Standard 7 exams, CPE, that was called then, I remember very well when I went to do the exams, I was barefoot because, of course, that was the nature of the village life. We didn't have shoes. My father bought me my first shoe in 1981 from a Mr. Onyango on the street for 60 shillings because he could not afford the butter shoes. Why am I saying this? Today, as you can see, the gentleman who did not have shoes is sitting at the high table. With the son of the founding father. So the confession I want to make is when you see some of us go to church and pray and lift up our hands, sometimes shed tears, make this or that contribution, it is because we cannot forget where God has brought us from. I beg you to understand. Some of us have more to thank God for than some of you. So please, I beg you to understand, because sometimes you judge us harshly. With those many remarks, ladies and gentlemen, with the permission of His Excellency the President of Kenya,